What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Glass Garage, where we make detail and simple. My name is Sock, and today I have something special for you guys. So today we're going to be reviewing Pan the Organizer's clean 8-year ceramic coating. And shout out to Eddie and Jamie for sending me this to try out. I only got their 3-year and 8-year coating first to try out. The rest of Pan's product line is coming. They'll be here like later this weekend, and that's just because of the simple fact that his product line sold out pretty much within like the first couple hours of his launch. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna be reviewing that, and I'm gonna be using a different panel prep and everything. When his product line comes in, I'll review the 3-year with his whole product line. Maybe it'll show up today, who knows? But if it does come in, I'll review the certain aspects. He doesn't have a decon wash. He doesn't have, I didn't get their clay towel or anything like that. So I'm just gonna be using the stuff that I typically use. Also, I'll be using the gold standard polish with the DIY details. Their new 5-inch waffle pads. They switch manufacturers. They used to use Lake Country. This is their old one, and this is slightly brand new. And then this is the new one. So as you can see, it's like a deeper concave type of waffle, a little bit thicker, plusher, and it's also coned. And yeah, but I'll make a dedicated review on this, or probably on the polishing stuff. But other than that, let's get started with the video. All the products will be down below in the description for you guys to order. And yeah, let me show you the walk around on this Mazda CX5. Alright everyone, so here's a quick before walk around on the entire vehicle, and just for some context, I asked the owner why there was so much heavy water spots and etchings. As you will see more when we clean up the vehicle and clay the vehicle and do the decontamination steps. The owner did say he purchased this vehicle back in July, and it sat outside just 24/7, and it's never got a wash since before the PDI, before the owner, not the owner, the dealership handed over the vehicle to the owner. And you see here on the right side some heavy water spots, tree saps. I had to do a heavy compound on certain areas to remove as much of the scarring left from the water spots. And I just didn't want to compromise the clear coat. A lot of these vehicles come with very thin clear, and you see those etchings right there as well. And also all the products down below you guys could order on Thor, except Jimbo's detailing products. And all you guys have to do is just click the link down below, and it will take you to their page, so that way you guys could order everything that I use on this vehicle on their site. Alright, as for the wheels and tires, you guys see how dirty these wheels and tires are. And I'm using my favorite combo, which is the tire cleaner from Armor Detail Supply, which you guys could get on the House of Rags, and Jimbo's Pure Magic Cleaner, which you have to get that separately on Jimbo's website. But these two are my favorite 1-2 combos, especially for wheels and tires that have been slightly neglected. And this will definitely help really deep clean everything right away. You guys will see a before and after of how well everything was deep cleaned just with these 2 combos. And I did have to use the tire cleaner twice just to ensure I remove all the rubbers before I apply Pan's tire dressing. As we move on to the contact wash, I'm using Pre-Mist from Labo Cosmetica and also Purifica from Labo Cosmetica, and they're both diluted 1:15. First, I spray on Pre-Mist, let it dwell, rinse it off, which is their alkaline soap. Then I spray on Purifica, then do my contact wash. And the only reason why I didn't use Pan soap here is he doesn't have a decontamination type of soap, and with these heavy water spots, minerals, and dirt that was built up over time, I needed something more aggressive. And also, he doesn't have an eye remover. He does speak on his own video if people want him to develop a eye remover and put it on his lineup, which for me, I think it's a good idea to have some decontamination, whether it's an alkaline shampoo or maybe just a eye remover as well, just something he could think of and add onto his lineup. But either way, his products are really made to maintain your vehicle and prolong your coating or whatever your last step protection is, and just make it easier for the DIYer. But that's pretty much it. I just washed the vehicle, did the contact wash, and for the iron remover, I am using Labo Cosmetica's Sidero with the DIY detail clay towel. I think Pan does have his clay towel. I just have to double check online, but if he does, I think it's still made like a fine grade clay towel, but I'm using the DIY details clay towel, which you guys can also get on Thor. Just something quick and easy to remove all those iron deposits and minerals that are on the paint. And then after I'm done with the iron remover step, I am moving on and using the DIY detail water spot remover. And off the clip, I did use Pure Magic Cleaner from Jimbo's, and I did use it in a 1:2 dilution ratio because all these water spots were just heavily etched in there, and I really needed something strong to remove those water spot minerals and try to eliminate as much of that scarring possible, because these water spots were super etched in, and you will see on the video on the next clip. But yeah, I just wanted to remove all those minerals and just make sure I polish most of them off so that way they don't resurface in the future. Once we're done washing, decontaminating the vehicle before the polishing step, I like to add the tire dressing and ceramic sealant on the wheels. And what I'm using is, of course, Pan's tire dressing and his sealant. And the crazy thing is, Pan's stuff did come in last minute in the middle of doing the decontamination wash, which was just the funniest part. Once I was done cleaning the vehicle, UPS showed up and I got the package. But yeah, so I added Pan's ceramic sealant on the wheels, and first thing I noticed, it smells very nice and is very easy to apply and very easy to wipe off. And then for the tire dressing, it is kind of like a gel type but more liquidy. It's not like Netto from Labo Cosmetica, but it does leave a nice dark satin sheen, kind of like CarPro Dark Side. So it's like in a mixture between like those two products in my opinion, and it leaves a very nice sheen, which you will see right here, and it dies down naturally, which is just a fantastic look overall on the wheels and tires. Alright everyone, so here's a quick paint inspection on the vehicle after the decontamination step and wash, and here you will see all of these tree sap, water spot etchings, and everything on this vehicle, and you will see it more when I take a different walk on a different angle. You will see more of those heavy water spots, and this vehicle did need a two-step just on the hood and the driver's side rear quarter panel, which you'll see because those etchings were just too strong in there. And then also just some areas I did the Ivan LaCroix method, the 555 method. For example, on that bird poop etching right there, needed it, where I just put 5 pounds of pressure on speed 5, just hold it for 5 seconds and remove, so that way I'm not compounding the entire panel, just those certain areas that was really needed. And it's just a simple way just to shorten your time and focus on the small tiny defects, because why would I focus so much time on 4 water spots or 5 etchings when I could just do a 555 method and easily polish those stuff away and then just move on to the polishing step with the spray polish from Pan the Organizer. That's pretty much the method I did. And yeah, so like I said, just certain areas just needed it, especially the hood and that rear quarter panel just needed a true 2-step. But everything else was used with Pan the Organizer spray polish, and there are the water spot etchings I was talking about. Alright, so here's a quick demo on Pan's spray polish, and I am using the DIY Details waffle pad, which is their new waffle pad that they're using Buff and Shine to manufacture their pads, and Pan the Organizer spray polish. And first thing off the bat that you notice from Pan the Organizer spray polish, it smells amazing. And also, I have used this on 3 vehicles. I haven't had a chance to use this on a hard clear like a Mercedes-Benz or Audi, but the most I've done this on was on this Mazda here, which had medium to soft clear. I did a Honda Accord, which was soft clear, and then also I did a Lexus, which was just an exactly medium clear, but it has some bite to it, and it leaves a true finish. I wanted to see how easy this polish is to wipe off, and look, just no rinseless wash, no dampened towel. I just wipe it off, very easy, and look at the bite. It gives very nice shine and gloss, and we remove those defects and swirls with just 3 section passes. Very easy to do. Alright, as we move on to the hood, I did do the compounding step off screen, which I use Supreme Cut Compound from Oberg, and Now I'm going to compare apple to apples here, and what are my thoughts on the Pan Deorganizer's spray polish. Now, compared to Optimum Hyper Polish and the DIY Detail Gold Standard Polish, which are just the two most popular spray polishes on the market, compared to Optimum Hyper Polish, it's way better than that, and that's just because the Optimum Hyper Polish is a bit difficult to wipe off, and it also doesn't have a lot of cutting capabilities like the DIY Detail and Pan Deorganizer's spray polish. Now, in comparison to the DIY Detail Gold Standard Polish, one thing I noticed about Pan Deorganizer, if you're using a larger section or doing a larger section like I'm doing here, like half the hood, you definitely need 2 sprays, and that's something just to keep in mind. For some people, it may bother you, it may not bother you, but as you see here, I'm just on the second section pass, and it's already drying up on me, so I definitely needed to do 2 section passes. But either way, you're still using way less polish than you would a traditional polish if you're doing, 3 dots and stuff like that on the polisher itself, 3 to 5 pea size drops. But overall, that's the only critique I had. Other than that, it performed phenomenally well, which you will also see right here on the hood, where I used the DIY Detail wool pad with Pan Deorganizer spray polish to do a 1-step, and you will see the amazing results that we ended up getting just with that wool pad, and how much of those water spots were removed off the roof. So that's just about it. That's just literally the only critique that I had. Overall, it performed very well, very nice. Now, like I said, if you're going to do a larger section, you're definitely going to need 2 sprays on that, because it doesn't stretch out as well as the gold standard polish from DIY. And now we're moving on to the ceramic coating step. And you're probably like, yo, Stock, what about the panel prep step? I thought I was recording the panel prep step, and then when I looked, I didn't have it recorded. I apologize. But overall, on Pan's panel prep, it worked very well. It kind of reminded me of Pelias panel prep or the DIY Detail panel prep. It just goes on nice and just wipes off, and it feels slick. It's not grabby, and it doesn't leave your panel feeling sticky or anything of that sort. It's a very nice panel prep. Now, in terms of the smell, it definitely has a very different smell, and one of my friends kind of said it smelled like nail polish, and I kind of agree with that. It has a strong smell for sure. Now, overall, now let's talk about his 8-year ceramic coating. As you saw, I was just applying it on the panel, and it is very easy to apply. I'm using this on a hot side. As you see, this is the sunny side, and I just let it on, left it there for a minute, and then just wiped off. If you're gonna leave it there for any more than a minute, you're definitely gonna have a little bit of a tough time just wiping it off. And this is again on pretty much direct sunlight. I was just testing the water, so you really just leave it there exactly a minute, like Pan Deorganizer's pamphlet says. The thing I did notice about this ceramic coating is the smell. I've had some of my detailing friends, detailing buddies, even my customer that walked over that sees into detailing, and I said, yo, smell the ceramic coating. He took a whiff of the ceramic coating and was like, yo, this smells like cologne. It literally smells very, very nice. Like, it was just such a pleasant smell. It doesn't stink up your garage. It just smells literally like cologne. Now, hopefully the solvents or raw materials that are on the thing and the smell doesn't, ruin the coating over time. But overall, it was just such a pleasant coating. All right, so what are my overall thoughts on Pan's 8-year ceramic coating? And this is just based on user experience and initial thoughts. I can't speak about it lasting 8 years and this, that, the third. It's just more on my initial thoughts and user experience. And overall, my user experience was a very pleasant user experience, very easy ceramic coating to use. If you're applying this in like 80, 90 degree weather, just leave it on the panel for 1 to 2 minutes like the pamphlet says. And especially in a shaded area, wipe off, and very easy. And visual cues are there. It gives a rainbow effect, and it smells amazing. And the wipe off is super easy and makes the paint feeling super slick, and the amount of gloss it gives to the vehicle is, you'll see on the walk around was great. So overall, nothing negative to say about this coating. It was just very easy to use, and that's something that other professional coatings are lacking. But that's why a lot of people are gravitated to these type of coatings that are just easy to use. You just wipe on, wipe off. You have the visual indicator here that you see the rainbow. Leave it there for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and just level off, and just makes it simple. I did put this ceramic coating on the windshield as well, and the water beading is insane, which you will see at the end. And for this entire vehicle, all I used was half the bottle, and there you see it right there. I just used half the bottle to do this CX5. So you could get 2 vehicles out of this. Just make sure once it's open, you leave it on the freezer. And I have it in the freezer, and trust me, after 2 days, 3 days, it still hasn't frozen, because it's nothing but raw materials or solvents that's in the coating in itself. So yeah, that's something to note. And also another thing is, Pan did say if you're gonna have it open, and once you open it and close it and leave it in the freezer, it's only good for up to 6 months. So that's something to keep in mind of. But yeah, let me show you how the water beading looks and how the vehicle came out. All right, everyone, so this is how the vehicle looks. Let me know what you all think. To me, the vehicle came out amazing. I love the way this tire dressing just leaves the tires. It's just a nice, deep, rich, dark sheen. Kind of like I said, it reminds me of like Dark Side with like Labo Cosmetica Nero. It's like in between there, and I did over apply it. That's something I really need to be transparent of. But just look at the gloss and shine. This is only like 2 to 3 hours after we coated the vehicle, and this is how it looks. Just amazing, super glossy. And I will also show you the water beading in a little bit on the next clip, and we'll talk about that as well. But overall, I think this vehicle came out fantastic, especially the way it came in with those heavy water spots and etchings. Just an amazing overall experience, and those are my initial thoughts. So I will see you guys on the outro when I talk a bit more about Pan's products and what I think overall as an initial impression on his new product line. Alright, so here are the water beading properties on Pan's 8-year coating, and overall my initial thoughts just a couple hours later. The water just doesn't want to stick. It's very tight round beads. Water just flies off, and I'm using the garden hose, and you see how tight those beads are, especially where it splashes and hits on the other side. It's just very tight round beads. Overall, my initial thoughts, very nice coating. Now only time will tell on how long this coating will last, and keep in mind, the customer did say this is a daily driver and sits outside 24/7. So if the customer does wash it over time and maintains it, if he washes once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks, this coating may last a while. But overall, that's pretty much it. Just very nice tight beads. And let me bring you in closer so you guys can see those water beads, and same thing on how the water beads just flies off on the side panels. But other than that, I'll let you guys finish watching these water beading, and I will see you on the outro. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and yes, Pan's products ended up showing up today. I was supposed to get them on Friday or Saturday, but I ended up getting it today, so it ended up working out. But yeah, so let's talk about the products I did use. I did not use his rinseless wash, stay tuned for that, and also his shampoo. I did not use that because this vehicle, you saw how dirty it was, and we deconned it, and I used Primus, and I believe you got from Labo Cosmetica. But like Pan said in his videos, his rinseless wash and his shampoo is mainly after you're done getting your vehicle coated and all that stuff. It's to upkeep and maintain it. He doesn't have an acidic shampoo or an alkaline shampoo, and that's about it. So before we get into the rest of Pan's products that I use, I'm going to talk about the DIY Detail, their new pads, just real quick. I did end up using them, and here is a completely different design, as you can see. So the right side is the old one. It's just like a little cone straight. And this one has like this like edge type of bevel. And yeah, this looks a little bit more plusher. Now in terms of the waffle themselves, the indentations look a little bit like more concave on this one. And this is a fairly new one, as you can tell. It's not worn down like the other pads that I use, and they are using Buff and Shine. That's what they ended up using, is they swap manufacturer. One thing I could tell you about Buff and Shine, and I've used their Eurofiber pads, their Velcro and hook and loop, fantastic. Even the adhesive. But so far, it works exactly like this one, just with a different design and a different hook and loop, because it's from Buff and Shine. I think it's pretty much already well known that they make the best adhesive glue and hook and loop for polishing pads. But that's about it, really. Now let's talk about Pan's product. So first off, I did end up using his Tire Shine, and it's kind of like a gel water. I don't know what type of thing this is, but it gives me like a mixture of like Dark Side from Car Pro or Nero from Labo Cosmetica and like the tire dressing from DIY Detail. It like gives me like that in-between dark sheen. It finishes off nice, and you'll see on the walk around as well. As for the rims, I did end up spraying this on wet, rinsed it off just so I could get the barrels, and then I did dry up, as you saw on the video. I just dried up and applied this on the rims just to give it more style protection. And the good thing about this is it just pretty much 1 to 2 sprays on the panel, and also on top of that, you just let it sit. After 10 minutes it could get wet, compared to other sealants and stuff that you really want to let it sit for like 2 to 3 hours before you can get it wet. So this is a pretty good thing. It smells delicious. It smells very it smells kind of like a fruit punch, per se. It smells like a fruit punch. Now the next thing is their panel prep. Let's go to the panel prep before I talk about the polish, because I really want to talk about his polish. But panel prep has a very strong alcohol medicine type of smell. This is what but it goes on, flashes off nicely. Easy wipe on, easy wipe off. I even use a little bit in direct sunlight, as you saw when I was wiping it. Yes, you do have to wipe it quickly because it is an IPA, just like any other IPA, but the panel is starting to get hot. But you just apply it on, wipe off, and it is not grabby. It feels really good. So great job on this. The smell's a little bit strong. It really hits your nostrils. But that's about it on that. Now the next thing is his polish. So what I want to talk about is polish. First off, it smells very good. Now in terms of work time, one thing I did notice about the work time, I do use 2 sprays if I am doing say half a hood as a finishing polish or something of that nature, because the hood I did have to do a 2-step just because of the crazy hard water spots that were on there, and I used an acid remover to try to remove or demineralize as much of those minerals. Then I ended up using some cream cut. It was just really on the hood. The hood and the roof was the only place that I did a 2-step. Not a 2-step, I'm sorry. The hood was the only one I did a 2-step. On the roof, I ended up just doing a 1-step with the wool pad from DIY Detail, which you saw the clip on how well it cut. But the hood just really needed a 2-step because, again, the engine is in there and it just bigs it up even more. So I did have to do a 2-step on that. And when I was doing the polishing step, I did spray 1 good spray, like I do with the gold standard polish. 1 good spray, and I only got like 2 section passes, maybe 3 tops. So I did need to use 2 sprays of this compared to the DIY Detail gold standard one where I just spray once, and that 1 spray has a very long work time. Even Mike Phillips did mention it when Ivan and Nick did send it to him. He says, you could work it till the cow come home or whatever. I don't know. I'm young. I don't know that saying. But all in all, it does have a pretty long work time. This one still finishes off nicely. Great cut, as you saw on the roof, and great finish capabilities. Just the work time, you're not gonna get a lot of crazy work time. The smells really good. It smells, I don't know, like tropical type of thing, like a tropical pineapple, mango, I don't know. But overall, It worked amazing. You see how glossy and shiny this car is, and that was with just this bad boy alone with the gold standard waffle pad. Now to the nitty gritty. First off, pan, initial thoughts on this ceramic coating. As you see, I did use this I used half of it and redid the whole vehicle. I even applied it on the windshield. But in terms of, first off, smell, this is probably one of the best smelling, I don't want you guys to smell solvents and stuff, but this is one of the best smelling ceramic coatings I've ever smelled, period. Apart from Owner's Pride ceramic coatings where it has a menthol smell, this has a very nice, pleasant type of cologne type of smell. It just smells just such a very pleasant to work with. Now in terms of application, very easy to apply. You saw me apply it on direct sunlight, even on pamphlet, right? I know he's not smiling, but you know, I'm smiling. But even though on pamphlet, it says apply a liberal amount and wait 1 to 2 minutes and then remove the excess coating. And also, it's between 50 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit. I ended up using this at, the panel was probably like 90, 95 degrees. And that was it. I just leveled it off, and very easy to wipe on and wipe off. Literally 1 to 2 minutes, you could leave it there. I noticed that after like the 4.5 minute mark, 5 minutes, it does get a little bit, I don't want to say grabby, but you see the streaks that it doesn't want to come off. So you do have to apply a little bit more coating. So stick to the 1 to 2 minutes to remove that ceramic coating. But overall, it just feels super slick. The gloss and shine is just absolutely insane. It's already been sitting there for an hour, and you saw the walk around. Just a phenomenal, just a great job. Initial thoughts, great job. Now, let's see how long it lasts. Of course, it all depends on the owner, but even if you get 5 years here in New York with this, and the owner did say this sits outside 24/7, period. So I don't know if he's gonna wash it often, and you saw the condition that the owner did bring it in. If he could wash this vehicle once a week or once every 2 weeks, I think this coating could last a very long time, but only time will tell on the 8-year durability. I don't know the water beading, so there will be a follow-up video in 2 weeks when the customer does come for his free wash, and that way we can see all the water repellency and that tight beading that everybody wants to see. And yeah, so no torture test, nothing of that nature. And the awesome thing about this is, just like, you know, some other coatings out there that you can drive off after an hour, not all coatings do that. But the crazy thing is that I think he said you could store this in the fridge afterwards. Yeah, after opening, store any ceramic coating at 23 degrees Fahrenheit. So you really want to put this in the fridge or the freezer. It's not going to freeze. And also, the other thing is, after 12 hours, it has pH neutral resistance. So that means in 12 hours or 24 hours, if you got bird droppings or heavy pollen or something like that, or heavy dirt and grime, you can use a rinseless wash, where you can use his rinseless wash or his pH soap and wash the vehicle. That way you can remove it, and it gives that more breathing room and curing time of the ceramic coating. So that's awesome to know about this part. But that's it, really. All the products will be down below in the description that was used to prep the vehicle, wash the vehicle, and all that stuff. And also all of Pan's products. I don't have a discount code for the House of Rags, but I'll just link it down below where you guys can get pretty much all the products that I use in just one website. That way it's a lot easier for you guys. And of course, support Eddie and Jamie on their venture. So best of luck to you guys. And other than that, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.